So, when we said we'd like to see Crosshair again, we didn't really mean have him try to ruthlessly murder his batchmates and then just get roasted like a goddamn marshmallow. What wasn't really what we had in mind, but it's what we got. But yeah, I do like that our poor little brainwashed murder toothpick has returned, but goddamn, I was really hoping he would get his chip removed, but no. I keep forgetting. This show is all about how much pain they can inflict on these characters, and specifically Crosshair, I guess, considering what happened to him in this episode, because goddamn. But before I continue to rant, what is up, my dudes, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? I am one creative ginger, and in this house we have salty takes and emotional rants over fictional media, all while wearing, boom, the most amazing makeup you have ever seen in your entire life, and that is a fact. So, does that sound like fun? Well, how about helping a bitch out by clicking that subscribe button? And if you find at least one of your brain cells enjoying at least a millisecond of this video, why not hit the like button too? So, in my last video, I thought that the batch was going to stay on Braca and then run into Crosshair, and hopefully, I was being a bit too optimistic here, but hopefully they were going to remove his chip and then everything was going to be fine and they were going to be a family again. No. Definitely not what happened in this episode. So, the batch is still on Braca, and they know that the Scrapper Guild is watching them, so, you know, that seems like the perfect time to, get off the planet, maybe, you know, because they're probably, so you know that the Empire doesn't catch up to them, you know, right? That's probably a good idea. Well, they don't leave, because Hunter wants to settle their debt with Sid, so they go raid the ship for anything valuable, because this is a downed Jedi cruiser, so there's bound to be a lot of shit for them to steal and get back to Sid, and then have her sell it so they can settle their debt, essentially. So, seems pretty straightforward, right? Yeah. Obviously not, because it's the Bad Batch, you know? So, anyways, during this time, I like this a lot, because, Echo was giving Hunter shit for staying and not, well, going with Rex, and also saying that if they had left with Rex, they wouldn't owe Sid anything, and that was a little weird, because it didn't sound like Echo understood anything about owing a debt to someone, because that shit's gonna follow you wherever you go, and especially since Sid definitely has power over them, and definitely has the power to go after them if they decide to just fuck off and go back with Rex, you know, she's not gonna like that very much. Like, Hunter makes sense when he's like, we gotta just, there's a lot of valuable shit on this ship, so let's grab it and go. Which they probably should have done sooner, considering how long it seems like they've just been bumming around, not doing anything really, so it's just kind of like, why didn't you do that sooner? Yeah, it's interesting to see how Echo's now the one challenging Hunter's decisions when it was Crosshair at the beginning. So that's pretty interesting. I really hope it shows up either in the next episode or later, because I would like to see some tension. I mean, I don't, but like, I would like to see some emotion from these guys. Also, in this episode, Crosshair ends up, you know, we finally get to see him, and he ends up interrupting Rampart and the Kaminoan Prime Minister, the male Kaminoan that's always there. They're talking, and he tells them that the Scrapper Guild has contacted them because they found, you know, Clone Force 99, you know, the Bad Batch, and they should, you know, go after them, you know. And at first, so this is kind of strange, because Rampart was very big on integrating clones and just regular recruits, but now he seems like he's just totally not on board with clones being anywhere, because he was like super annoyed with Crosshair the whole time, and it was kind of weird. I don't know why. Maybe he was just annoyed in general that he got interrupted, but I don't know. I feel like it might have to do with Crosshair being a clone, but yeah, so he Crosshair interrupts them, and Rampart's like, at first he's like, no, just ignore them, go send like a scout group after them, I don't know, who cares, right? And then the Prime Minister's like, well, they're enhanced clones and they're kind of important, you know, because we kind of put a lot of effort into them because they're enhanced for a reason. Maybe just go capture them and bring them back, and then and then Rampart's immediate response was like, nah, fuck all that, just go kill them. I don't care. And the guy and the prime minister was just like, all right, I guess. Anyways, then we see Tech and Omega are downloading some important info from the ship's computer, and it's low-key kind of unclear if they were actually able to download the info because they get interrupted by the Empire, and god damn it, Tech is still being a dumbass because when the ship's perimeter sensors go off, he's all like, oh, it's probably just a malfunction. Like, it's totally fine. And when the Empire flies over them and literally lands in front of the ship, he's just kind of like, that's fine too. They can't, they can't detect us. I'm jamming their, you know, their sensors and shit. Even though Crosshair knows exactly how they operate, like we see clearly in this whole fight scene, he knows exactly what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it, especially Tech to a point. But yeah, he's totally catching them off guard. He's like one step ahead of them all the time, and it's just like Tech's just kind of like, well, that's fine. We're fine. That's just kind of been his whole goddamn thing. And I was blaming it on the inhibitor chip because I thought low-key it had activated and then was just kind of like trying to convince him that the inhibitor chips aren't a huge problem and you shouldn't be worrying about it. You shouldn't be, you know, removing it anytime soon. It'll be fine. It hasn't activated yet, right? You're fine, right? So I blame the inhibitor chip, but now that they're out, it's just like, Tech, god damn it. So it's just, yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of dumb for him, but Crosshair totally understands their strategies. Glad that the Empire sent him after them because, yeah, he was just totally on their asses the whole entire time. But he ends up cornering the Bad Batch in a hangar, I think. And here's the thing. Crosshair's a sniper. He could have totally just hidden somewhere, you know, near the Havoc Marauder and then just sniped everyone when they came back. Like, they would have never known what hit him. He would have been able to, you know, kill him like he was ordered to if he had just, you know, done his sniper thing. But he didn't do that. He decided to be a dramatic bitch and totally just like corner them and have them be able to like convince him. Like, the chip hasn't totally taken him over yet. Like, the chip is just like, well, let's see what they gotta say, right? You know, like, he's still fighting it, clearly, because if he really was totally just under the control of the chip, he would have sniped them out of the blue when they're least expecting it, and they would have all been dead. That's how he would have done it. But he doesn't do that. He makes a whole show of it. He makes sure to corner them and, you know, have them talk to him, have them try to talk him out of it, even though they did such a terrible, lame job of doing it. They were just kind of like, it's the inhibitor chip, what are you doing? Don't kill us. And then when he's like, no, they're like, well, oh well. I guess, bye. That's their whole thing. And I was just kind of like, okay, well, he's not going to just automatically, you know, not be under the chip's control. Like, they fought Wrecker when the chip was activated. They fucking know what happens when the chip activates and when someone tries to kill them, you know? Like, they know. And then they were just kind of like, Crosshair, come on. Don't be a dick. Don't kill us. And then when you know, tells them to fuck off, essentially, they're just like, well, nothing we can do. Oh, well, bye, I guess. That was just kind of like, you couldn't have, you know, tried a little bit harder, because Omega actually tries. She literally talks about when she was telling him when they were in the brig in like the first episode, she was like, it's not your fault that you're feeling this, or, you know, you can't help it, that kind of thing. And she's like, remember that? And he, you know, and then he goes, well, fuck you, aim for the kid, kill the kid, you know. And I was just like, okay, no, we're not doing that. Don't do that. But I was glad to see, because this whole episode, Hunter's dad instincts really kick in this episode, and it was so just so nice to see that. It was just, it was great. I loved that. Because yeah, he was just full dad mode, full on like protecting her with his whole entire body, trying not to like get her squished by anything or shot or anything like that. It was just, my heart. It was very nice. So eventually, the Bad Batch decides to escape through one of the engine thrusters, but of course, Crosshair, one step ahead of them, corners them, and then tries to literally incinerate them by turning on the thruster. So, that was fun. Because, like, remember back in episode 1 where he was just super vanilla and, like, just tried to shoot them once and then, like, literally gets disarmed by Omega and, like, 2 seconds later? It was just like, yeah, apparently the Empire didn't like how just super vanilla, so they were like, let's do something to the chip to just make him absolutely ruthless in this episode. It was it was a little intense, because at first it was like, oh, you know, the chip's, you know, not exactly, he's still fighting the chip, you know, because he's not, like, trying to kill them, he's actually trying to listen to what they have to say. But yeah, so luckily the Bad Batch is able to blow up part of the thruster, so, you know, the round part of it, you know, collapses so they can drop off on that thing so the thrusters don't get them. I think that's what happens. Either way, they're able to blow the thruster and able to escape a rather crispy death, but Crosshair not so much. He ends up getting blasted by it instead, and his helmet conveniently falls off during it. And earlier, he gets that whole part of the ship falls on him, and when he gets up, he's clutching his head, you know, the side with the inhibitor chip on it. So there's multiple times where he does clutch his head in this episode, and especially since he gets blasted by this thruster, which obviously probably has some radiation to go with it, you know, and his helmet falls off. I doubt the inhibitor chip escaped unscathed, considering how fucked up Crosshair got from this whole fucking ordeal. Like, Jesus Christ. I think his inhibitor chip did get a little fucked up in this scene, because we do see he's, like, in an incredible amount of pain. Like, we see some, like, straight up terror and fear on his face as he's, you know, getting blasted by this rather radioactive thruster engine, you know? Like, he's probably like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die, especially since he's missing his goddamn helmet. But yeah, so the pain doesn't end there, because Hunter and Omega get separated after their escape from the thruster, and they get separated from the rest of the batch. So they go back to the Havoc Marauder, and they find none other than Cad Bane, who Hunter and him have, like, this whole Western standoff, which was pretty fun to watch. I really liked that. But that's where the fun ends, because then this motherfucker ends up shooting Hunter and stunning Omega, because guess who put the bounty on her? The Kaminoans, apparently, which kind of makes sense, but it was kind of like, alright, I guess, which, I don't know why they let her escape, unless this was, like, some sort of test to test out her whatever enhancement she has, I don't know. But yeah, so the Kaminoans wanted her back, because there was, like, a whole scene earlier on where they're like, yeah, we sent another bounty hunter to get her because the first one kind of sucked, you know. Cad Bane ended up doing the job rather effectively, to the point where it's like, is Hunter dead? Do we know if he's okay? But he's fine. So he's totally fine, because there's a scene where there's actually a really cool scene where you see his perspective from underneath the helmet. So there's just this whole scene where he's, like, looking around through the viewfinder of the helmet, and you can see everyone, you know, just gathered around him, and it's a really chaotic scene, and it's really good. It looked amazing with, like, the whole camera work and everything. I loved that. But yeah, so he's not dead. He just got shot. Wonder if Omega thinks he's dead, because she didn't see him get up before she got stunned. She just saw him on the ground with a hole in his chest, I think. So she probably thinks he's dead. So that's fun. She's not gonna have a fun time with that. But yeah, so remember in the last episode where she was like, please don't die because I don't want to be left alone, and Hunter's like, you'll be fine, we're not going anywhere. Like, you have nothing to worry about. Turns out she did, because yeah, now she probably thinks Hunter's dead and thinks that, you know, she was like, we were gonna be friends forever. fuck? You know? So yeah, that was fun to just have that immediately come, that whole line just come back to bite us in the ass rather quickly. So fun, very fun pain for that. Yeah. He's totally worried about Omega. He's totally just like ignoring his injury and being like, we have to go after her, we can't leave her, and all that shit. And then we actually get to see that whole scene contrasted with Crosshair, who we get to see how fucked up he is from that thruster blast. Like, he's got a broken leg, a broken arm, his face, including one of his eyes, which is concerning, is totally just wrapped in bandages, and he also needs a fucking oxygen respirator to actually breathe. You know, when he hears one of the troopers is like, oh yeah, they got away, his immediate reaction, god damn it, he's like trying to get up even though he totally can't do shit. He's totally incapacitated. He's totally like, we have to go after them. That's like his whole body's basically saying that. So it was really interesting to see that contrasted with Hunter as well, who's like, we have to go after Omega, and then Crosshair's just like, we have to go after them because he has to follow orders. He can't just let them leave and live, you know, because he was specifically ordered to kill them. Like, Rampart specifically said, go kill them, you know. So he can't disobey orders, which, yeah, this has got me a little spooked because, you know, it sounds like they're going back to Camino, where, you know, where Omega's going as well. So that'll be interesting to see if they interact in like the next episode or two. Considering how fucked up Crosshair got from this, like, he's totally incapacitated. I don't know how fast, like, we don't know how fast he can heal or how fast, like, the whole medical facility is able to heal his wounds, especially since we don't know if his eye is okay. Like, he's got his dominant eye, which is on his right side. He's definitely right-handed, considering that's where his tattoo is. I'm assuming that's his dominant eye. That one's fine. He can still see out of that one. But yeah, his left one, not doing so hot, it looks like. So it's a little concerning because probably the only reason he's being kept around or is being taken seriously, I guess, because he is a commander for his squad. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Empire might be like, you're not worth fixing or keeping around. And considering he might have lost an eye and that his whole enhanced eyesight is his enhancement and what makes him valuable, I don't know. Like, there's that whole theme of clones being replaceable. Like, that was a thing in Clone Wars. And considering Tarkin and Rampart apparently, looks like he doesn't like clones either. Like, they literally don't see him as human. They just think he's a machine, essentially. And so when a machine's broken, what do? You throw it away. I don't think they're gonna think Crosshair's worth fixing, unfortunately. But I hope that's not what happens, because, I mean, who else has really good eyesight? Who's able to hit targets like Crosshair's able to? I don't know. I would like to hope he's safe, but I don't know, considering how much the Empire hates clones and the fact that Crosshair failed this mission where he seemed very, very confident, I guess, to a point. Like, he seemed like he was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna kill him. But then he comes back all fucked up and the Bad Batch is still alive. I don't know. I'm worried that they're gonna kill him, have him decommissioned, or like sent off to like a prisoner of war camp to like do labor. I don't know. I don't feel like they would put a lot of effort into saving a clone's life, considering they're supposed to be replaceable and all that shit. So I don't know. Maybe he's safe because of his eyesight, but yeah, again, one of his eyes totally may have been fucked up, but like, we don't know. He's still got a good eye, so he might be okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just worried about him. But yeah, I would like to see what happens to Crosshair in the next episode. I don't want them to just go back to ignoring him. Please don't. And also, why the Kaminoans wanted Omega back? Because Nala Se literally helped them escape with her, and now they want her back. But it seems like the Prime Minister wanted her back, and Nala Se was just kind of like, okay, alright, yeah, I guess. It's like, she was just kind of like, meh, which was weird. But yeah, and then also how the Bad Batch is actually going to react to Omega being taken by Cad Bane, and if Echo and Hunter, or just Echo in general, just fighting the rest of the Bad Batch, are going to just fight and argue in the next episode. Like, I don't know. It seems like he's getting there. He's getting a little annoyed with everyone, specifically Hunter, especially since he was kind of like, we're gonna stay here. We'll meet up with Rex, maybe in the future. Who knows? We're gonna keep doing this mercenary shit. And while Echo's like, no, let's go be soldiers with Rex. Fuck that. Ew, no. That kind of thing. So yeah, I'd like to see that be a conflict, hopefully in the next episode. If not, in the future, please. Like, I want to see them have some conflict. That would be very interesting to see how they react to that. Even though the show is causing me physical pain, I still absolutely love the shit out of it, and I just can't wait to see how the rest of it is just gonna fuck me up, because each episode just gets me every single time. Like, I mean, it's probably been like the last 2 episodes, at least the last episode, where I'm just like, oh yeah. So that's pain. That's great. Yeah. Almost forgot about that. But yeah, it's fun. But I really hope no one dies, especially Crosshair, because I get the vibe that he might be the one to die if everyone else doesn't die too, you know. I don't think I can be very optimistic for very much longer, because this episode was a doozy. This was pain. Lots and lots of pain that I just didn't expect to just get bitch slapped with, essentially. So this is great. I'm very worried now. But yeah, so that's all I have to say about episode 8 of The Bad Batch. We're halfway through. Good lord. Get ready, because you know damn well the rest of the show is just going to be straight pain. So get prepared for that. Yeah, so if you guys have any predictions, thoughts, and or feelings about this show, please share all that good shit in the comments down below. So, thank you guys so much for watching and getting to the end of my video. If you would like to support me, I sell all kinds of art on these 4 sites right here if y'all are interested in buying. If you would like to follow me on other social media, I have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a Tumblr if you'd like to stay up to date on my shenanigans. So if you like this video, why not hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and give the bell a ring if you'd like to see more of my face every Wednesday when I post a new video. And don't forget to stay sparkly, my dudes!